Welcome back to Energy Healing Oracle 555. It is Witchy Wednesday. Witchy Wednesday. And I have for you a very special Witchy Wednesday at that. Today, I would like to offer you a very special reading. It is going to be a darker reading, a much more intense reading. And it is going to involve shadow work. Now, I did say that I would bring out the shadow cards, as I promised a couple of shorts ago, and I'm even more excited to do so because I have a couple of new decks that I think are going to be just right to explore the idea of delving into the mysterious side of you. And the first one is the cost of becoming you, because of course we don't go through life with everything that we are given and end up with the same things. As soon as we get to the end, we leave things behind. So that is to say, we gain things, we lose things. There is a cost to becoming the person that we, I'm off center, the person that we were meant to be. And I'm also drinking pumpkin tea. I'm going to do a magic trick for you. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Whoop. I should have put this note closer to me because I can't read it. Oh, yes. And I also have a little crow magic. So I thought that would be good to use as a third deck. And then I'm going to sweeten up the reading by doing some messages from Spirit. Now, the other thing before I do that is, of course, I am, it's worth it to mention that I am rocking a little Wednesday Addams here, and I'm very excited. Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na, about the third season of Wednesday Addams. I think it's coming out soon. Probably closer to Halloween, so I wouldn't be surprised. Yes, very excited about that. And if you are someone who loves writers who write about witches, I'm in love with this author, C.J. Cook, Carolyn Jess Cook. I have read almost all of her books. I started with The Lighthouse Witches, but this is her latest one, The Last Witch. Absolutely blown me away. If you want to start somewhere, I would recommend The Lighthouse Witches, but this is her latest one. Absolutely fabulous writer. She writes mostly in terms of the books about witches, about the witch hunts that were based in Scotland, which of course were the most gruesome. So historically, that's just an interesting note to make. There's a couple of other writers that I like to read that I will mention going forward, but she is just awesome. Now, before I go forward with the reading, I just wanted to make a note, I just wanted to mention something about protection in terms of shadow work, and not because anything is wrong, but because shadow work can be scary. It's diving into the unknown. It's asking the hard questions, and not because it's unsafe, but yeah, because it can sometimes be scary. And you deserve to feel safe. You deserve to feel comfortable. And if you are going to be brave enough to ask those hard questions and step into your power, you deserve to do it while feeling safe. So for me, it really started with Reiki, and ritual really helped. The ritual of Reiki helped me feel safer. Things like, I quite like, when I'm feeling a little bit, um, a little bit like the world is intruding on me, using my tiger's eye, and just making sure that, you know, sage anything and everything, including yourself, if you need a little, clearing to kind of happen, or, personal objects. Like, I'm not actually sure what crystal this is, but it's a worry stone, and I just put it in my pocket. My dad gave it to me when I was young, and it's just, I'm a very tactile person, so this is like a personal ritual that I have, that I can just, I feel this and breathe, and it calms me down. Or if lavender is more your thing, very, very calming to the nervous system. You could, put a little on a tissue, and just, tuck it in your shirt or underneath your bra strap, or what have you. Um, so yeah, just do something that eases you, and know that when I do this work, every time I create, every time I do healing work of any kind, whether it is a an energy modality, or a physical modality, or an oracle card reading, it requires a safe space. I'm holding space for someone. And shadow work is it's necessary all of the time, but when you're doing shadow work, it is absolutely essential. You really want to make sure that all is right with the world, when that you're in the right headspace, that you're with the right people, or that you are alone, or that you have a journal, or you have a certain amount of time afterwards to kind of decompress, or the right tea, whatever it is. That you that you pick the cards in the right way. And I just got the idea of, why don't you pick the cards the same way you picked last time? Okay, I can do that. Okay, 4 cards or 3? 3, okay. No, 1, 2. Well, now you're saying 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay. All right, so we've got our 4 cards, and put those aside and see what we got. See where we begin. Take a deep breath. This may resonate with you, and it may not. So take what resonates with you, and the stuff that doesn't, leave it behind for someone else. Only the stuff that applies to you applies to you. And if you have a cool old car, maybe this applies to you. But if you have unseen patterns, it definitely applies to you. Unseen patterns change your thoughts, change your life. Beliefs, reprogramming. Well, we all have those things, because beliefs are something that are programmed into us over time. And that's why it takes so bloody long to reprogram ourselves. So if you already know that there are some beliefs that you have, some limiting beliefs that you have, then you may already know, whoop, this might be about that belief of mine, and if you don't know, stay tuned. What do we have? Oh, face inner demons. Interesting. Don't be afraid of the darkness. There's a light nearby. Transform. Integrate. And remember that phrase from my priestess mentor: I love my light like I love my dark. The demons are our inner children, which are just like, I often think that I have a kindergarten class running around inside me, and we have the quiet ones that just want to be left alone, and we have the ones that are the shit disturbers. They need love too. They just need to be listened to. So if you have some inner shit disturbers, make time to listen to them too. You could do that and meditate with them. You could do an inner child meditation. You could do one of those continuous stream of writing and let them speak. And just let them talk and say, what do you need? What do you need? See what comes of it, And that is the best way, because then there's acknowledgement. And something that you didn't know you needed may help resolve something. Interesting. Ooh. The inner cosmos. To embrace the light. Interesting. We had the inner demon and it said, don't worry, a light is near. Literally, there's a light that's near. What's that about? Embrace the light. First acknowledging the dark. Wow. So go on and acknowledge that dark. It may just be a mischievous child. So it may be easy to acknowledge that dark, whatever it is. Trauma. Seeing. Going deeper. So really, whether it's a mischievous inner child that needs to be faced, or it is a mischievous child that needs to talk about something that is traumatizing, that is talking about something that needs to be seen, that needs to talk about something that is really deep. And this is when I say, this is not psychological advice. This is you. This is the cards pointing you to say who in your life can support you in this journey, because this is a journey that's going to test you, and you need to know that there are people in your life that can support this journey, because this is a journey that is it's not going to be a journey that can happen by itself. It needs support. So I would say, before you step into either of these things, if we are talking something that is traumatizing, that is really scary, that is really intense, that we find a therapist, a practitioner that we are really comfortable with, and ask for their advice as to what is available for support in order to go into this, because you deserve to feel safe and you deserve to be with somebody you trust. Okay? Really, really important. And the last card is, oh, Interesting. We are in a spaceship that's on the ground, and now we are in a balloon that's going up. Good sign. Oh, and I just read it. Light the darkness. We are literally facing our inner demons and knowing that there's a light nearby, embracing the light by embracing the dark. Darkness cannot dispel the darkness, only light can. This is all about seeking the light by going into the dark, which is what shadow work is, because you cannot embrace the dark. You cannot embrace the light without the dark. Love, clarity, awareness, and those are all the things that are on the other side of the search for the light that leads through the dark. That's quite beautiful, actually. And I think it starts with those unseen patterns. So start with those unseen patterns, and then I would caution you, think about those unseen patterns and go to Psychology Today if you're online. I'm in Toronto. If you're in Ontario, that's where we go. But get online with your your local hospital. They will have outreach, and they'll be able to tell you where the nearest place that you can get your hands on resources for wellness resources that lists psychotherapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, whatever it is you need. And now we are going to head into the second part of the reading. So we're going to get a little bit deeper. And you know what? If this is getting a little bit intense, I would not fault you. If you need a break, my God, push pause. You do not have to listen to this reading all at once. You can take it in slices. You can pause and go get a cup of tea. You can pause and go get your teddy bear. You can get your comfort item. You can get your coloring book. You can get cozy in bed. Whatever you need to do to regulate. If you are brave and you want to listen to this, but you need to do something to make yourself comfortable, that's how you do this. You take care of yourself, and you're saying, I'm scared, but I'm going to do this anyways. Oops, I was shuffling them upside down. Ow. I don't even know what that is. It looks like 4 people with an umbrella running into one another. I don't think that's what it is, but... Okay. Do we find them the same way? Yes. Okay. The new cards really pop out well this way. 1, 2, take that one. 3, 4. Okay. All right. The test appeared the moment you said you were ready. Ooh, unseen patterns. This is good. So you see your unseen patterns, or whatever it is. There's part of you, or a whole lot of you, or maybe just a little bit of you that knows you're ready, sees you're ready, that says you're ready. And that is a darn good place to start. Look at that. And crack. Good for you. Second card. Oh, interesting. Growth doesn't ask for permission. It disrupts. Look at that. So we have a guy here ready to run on this brick road here, and we've also got the growth starting. It looks very similar, like starting in the same place. Even almost it looks like the cloud, the storm cloud, the same storm cloud behind it. So if you can commit even just a little bit and say you're ready, that means that there's a test that's going to pop up in your life. Because you're ready. And it is a test, so, it's going to be a challenge, but it's because you're ready. So just know that. And you don't have to ask permission. You go on and you do it anyhow. So you can get those elbows out and, right? Card 3. Intensity means something real is emerging. What were we talking about? A more intense reading? Intensity means that something real is emerging. So, yeah, working with shadows can be intense, but that just means that this is not surface. This is real. This is urgent. This matters. Okay, these cards aren't so scary after all. It's like the shadow cards were the uh-oh, and the what this costs you is almost the motivation. I like it. Okay, card 4. Force always creates resistance. Okay, this one's interesting. This looks like a very delicate process. And something you don't necessarily want to rush. This is going to take some patience. It's going to take patience and money. Oh, to do it, 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 to do it right. Got my mind set on you. I don't think it's necessarily a love relationship, but I don't know, maybe it is. Yeah, force always creates resistance. So, and you know what? You don't necessarily want to push your way through the intensity, You have to feel it before you can release it. Because if there's an emotion there and you just push your way through it, it's like a song that you don't let it finish. It's just drifting out there. So, yeah, and that spring kind of looks sharp. So I wouldn't push it. It seems to be a balance between pain and patience. So, yeah, that might be a painful lesson if you try and go too fast. So there could be a lesson in that. Maybe especially if you work with machinery. And perhaps this one might be a bit of a lesson, especially if you're a painter. Because it looks like emotion is kind of a bit of an explosion with paint. So now we're moving on to the Crow Magic, and we'll see what wonderful things this magician has to tell us about your magic journey into shadow. Are we going to use the same method to collect the 4 cards? Yes. Okay. Interesting. Maybe that's what I need to do in the future. Make it easier for yourself, Kelly. One, 2, 3, 4. First one is the empty perch. A space is cleared, making room. Do not rush to fill it. Wait for what is meant to land. Interesting. We were talking about patience. Keep flying. You'll know when it's right. Keep flying. Keep running. You will know. So this is about trusting yourself. And that's whatever you're learning to do, particularly if you're learning, like as a healer, it was about learning to trust yourself, learning that you knew the answers. You just had to trust yourself enough to wait for them. It's only been 27 minutes. This reading went faster than I thought it would. Second card. Inky feather. Leave your mark, your own signature, your art, your action, your truth is needed. And this is going right under growth doesn't ask permission. So you are leaving your mark, and you're not going to ask permission. You're just going to do it because it's needed. That's a nice little addendum to what you're going to be doing in the world. You don't have to ask permission to make this world a better place. And you don't have to ask permission to create something beautiful, to bring something beautiful to it. This is lovely. Crooked flight. The direct path is not always the true one. A purposeful detour holds the key. Okay. So this kind of goes along with the empty perch. However, I'm going to say that the patience, because this one is saying, take your time. If you rush, you're only going to get hurt. If you take a direct path, it's not the true one. Because if you rush forward, well, very obviously, you're going to bleed. And if you don't take a detour, you're not going to land in the right spot. Basically, it's not going to it's not going to end up the way it's supposed to be. So I think that does go under there. Let's see what crow goes under intensity here. Shadows whisper. A secret the world hasn't spoken yet waits in the quiet. Listen. Oh, that is a gorgeous card to pair with intensity. That is definitely, it's hard. Yeah, it's those crow cards obviously are quite dark. Intensity means something real is emerging. And in the intensity, it's intense. He is definitely paying attention, if nothing else. He's listening. He's using all of his faculties. And in order to listen to a whisper, that's exactly what you have to do. And if you have to be quiet in order to hear something that hasn't been spoken yet, you are waiting for an answer. You are trusting yourself. You know something is coming, even though it hasn't happened yet. It's almost on the edge of clairvoyance. The secret the world hasn't spoken yet waits in the quiet. Listen. So this is intensity. This is magic. This is trusting yourself. I tell you, I've got some special people in my collective. That's wonderful. So yeah, I mean, if you can be brave enough to get the support that you need and dig into going right back to those unseen patterns that are happening, that you, even if you just have some idea of what's going on, that is a good place to start. It's a really good place to start. And a good therapist can help you dig into that. Like that's their job, to kind of help you decide what it is that is coming up in your life that is working, that isn't working, that needs to be addressed. And if you're honest with them, if they can figure out what you need as a client, if you can work together, you can let them hold a healing space for you. And I am so grateful for mine. I found a wonderful therapist that just, we've come a long way together, baby. And honestly, we laugh together as much as I cry. And she knows exactly what I need to keep me centered and keep me focused, or get me back on track, or help me see the things that I might not be able to see at the moment, or point out to me the things that I'm really not getting, Okay. Yeah, they're all just like, woo, right downhill. It's the smaller decks that I can do that with. 1. That's the third card. 1, 2, 3, 4. Messages from Spirit. They're always sweet. When the door doesn't open, don't waste your energy trying to make it open. It's closed for a reason. You are being redirected to something far bigger and better. Endings are part of the cycle of life. They make way for wonderful new beginnings and opportunities. Yeah, so unseen patterns. Stop trying to open the doors that won't open, no matter what you do. And the last, when I did the when I did the shadow work card, the last Witchy Wednesday that I had, we drew the stubborn card, and it was an amount of stubbornness is good, but are you so stubborn that you refuse to give up on something that very obviously is not working? And that's when it becomes detrimental. So which camp are you? Card 2. You wouldn't plant a seed and then dig it up every few minutes. Okay, now we get to the spirit messages, and they're sarcastic. What? You wouldn't plant a seed and then dig it up every few minutes to see if it's grown. So why do you keep questioning yourself? Your hard work and your decisions. Have patience. Yep. Stop overthinking and keep watering your seeds. Yeah, okay, that one goes here. And we also got, in that same reading, a card about watering the seeds. It was called Tender. The tender care and affection and bloody. All right, next card I'm reading. If you find yourself stuck in a situation you are unhappy with, ask yourself, why are you still there? Is it fear of the unknown? Leaving toxic situations or people can be the best thing you could do for your soul and your spirit. Be fierce. Be fierce. You deserve it. Because when you are out of that situation, when you are out of that space, you get to make a whole new space that doesn't include that person, that doesn't include that situation. You get to reform your energetic boundaries. You get to smudge the hell out of everything. You get to do whatever you need to do to feel safe and loved and protected again, and life goes on as if that person was never there. And you will heal. And that, my friends, my dear friends, is the light in the darkness. Is the light in the darkness, I promise. So if that's your situation, it's worth the cost of standing up for yourself. Is worth it every time. You are worth it every time. Every time you choose yourself, every time you choose yourself, you stand up for you. And I was wondering if I should, I just happened to read this. There was a dedication in The Last Witch that I happened to glance at when I was reading this. It's a quote from Maya Angelou, and it was, each time a woman stands up for herself without knowing it, possibly without claiming it, she stands up for all women. It's true. It is true. last card. What areas of your life are you avoiding? Are they causing you upset, worry, disrupted sleep? If so, these are the areas you need to focus on as much as you don't want to. Aha! It is necessary. Tackle your... Where is the inner demons? Face your demons. Tackle your demons head on. Don't allow them to rule you for a second longer. Because they're just little kids. Don't let them push you off the swing set. You're allowed the same amount of time on the monkey bars as them. You know, and that's where it really starts. And you know what? Just that's where we learn the survival of the fittest, is in that darn playground. That's where we learn to, stand up for ourselves or not, to fight for other people or not. And the lessons that we don't learn in the playground, I guess, we learn later in life. So, yeah, that, I'm sure that still had some moments in it of, for people, but not as bad. Not as bad as maybe some people thought it would be. And I would be very curious to see people's reaction to it. And I hope that I was able to hold a comforting container for that reading, because that's what Energy Healing Oracle 555 in my mind is all about, is holding a container for healing and doing what I do best on this platform. Because when I worked, one-on-one with clients at the clinic where I worked, this is what I did. I worked with people hands-on. And I think this is the way that I want to work with people online, is going directly into what is it about life right now that is not working? What is it that you need support in order to change? And if you want to change those things, you are not alone. Reach out to your support network, your friends, your family, and if you feel that you and I would connect, please reach out for a personal shadow work reading. And if it would help for me to hold a container for you to get an idea of what you need to be focusing on, what you can work with for yourself, for your mental, emotional, physical, energetic health, in life right now, then please get a hold of me at energyhealingoracle555@gmail.com, and I would be more than pleased to make your acquaintance and to see if I can help you out. So that is the end of my witchy reading. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care of yourself, and bye-bye.